If you're ready to step up your final expense sales game and go from writing the bare minimum amount of life insurance to consistently writing over $20,000 of AP monthly, then this video is absolutely for you. I'm Doug Massey, and having written hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of annualized premium year after year, well, along with the simple fact that I have helped and or trained some of the highest producing life insurance agents in the country, well, guys, that gives me, what I want to refer to as a rather unique perspective on your typical agent versus the top producing final expense agent. In this video, I'll be giving you some actionable recommendations and tips that should help you to send your final expense game to the next level. Let's start by giving the video a thumbs up, and we do suggest subscribing if you're a new viewer. We're putting out new insurance sales content and final expense training videos just like this every week. Today, we're going to be touching on three main things, including leads, training, and production versus activity. And guys, I love to hear from our viewers, so yes, leave a comment below, and if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to get a copy of the I Am Your Policy, along with the policy summary that I leave with every single client that I sell life insurance and or final expense to. And let's start with the topic of training and learning how to sell life insurance products. I really think the biggest fail in our industry when it comes to training is really more about the agent learning than it is the teacher teaching, if that makes sense. And a good example is, like, back in the day, we used to do these intensive training sessions with our independent agents where we would, all go over the script part by part with the new agents and just go over the little things involved, voice control, energy, just being able to sound professional. And we did this for several hours per day and over a whole week. And the reason we stopped doing that was because I noticed zero difference in the average sales from before, when we weren't spending all this time trying to teach the agents and working with the agents. And the thing is, I concluded that I could practice the script with you 1,000 times, and it's only going to help so much if you, the agent, don't put in several hours per day preparing, practicing, working on yourself, and doing mock sales one after another while you're recording yourself and then going back and listening to the recording so that you eventually sound good and are actually ready to sell for your first day. And once you start making live presentations to clients, that's really, I want to say when the harder work begins. And now you've got to go back and listen to those presentation recordings and correct yourself while you're learning. Yes, you got to actually force yourself to sound stronger and better. Stop saying and the only way that this is going to happen, guys, is if you make more and more presentations day after day. You listen to more and more recordings and you just keep doing the work and getting better every single day that you're working. Which leads us into the second actionable thing that you can do to go from being a zero to a hero, which is primarily about production versus activity and the correlation between the two. And this is important. Hang on a second. One of the saddest things that I see in our industry with most agents is flat out laziness and lack of a decent work ethic, commitment. What's the saying? Work smarter and not harder. However, how smart is it to not even put 100% of your time and effort into your insurance business only to end up doing the bare minimum and or totally failing out, which I do see all the time too. Believe it or not, we get these agents that come onto our platform, our remote final expense telesales appointments platform, and they'll tell me how they have to make this work because, they're investing a lot of money and money they don't really have or can't afford. And then they end up not even putting in full-time hours when they're new. They're not even, trying really hard. Man, I hope I'm not just preaching to the chorus, but the bottom line is the one thing that's different between the typical insurance agent and the consistent top producing life insurance agent is almost always 100% of the time work ethic. Another example, with final expense telesales, in most cases, when I look at the agents at our agency, the top producers are almost always the agents who make the most dials and make the most presentations and therefore make the most sales and income. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? How in the world are you going to earn six figures at any business, any sales industry without at least sacrificing, I want to say, a little in the beginning, maybe like for the first few years, and putting in those full-time hours. If someone took away your identity and threw you out of an airplane in the middle of nowhere, you'd do everything you could to survive, and most likely you would. You'd be surprised at what you're capable of in like what I want to refer to as a survival scenario. So if you put this type of survival level effort into your new insurance business and bust your butt to make it happen, especially in the beginning, then you can change your life and the lives of your family and those important people who are around you. Which leads us to the third point, the topic of leads. How many to work, the right type of leads, and where to get a higher intent lead without breaking the bank. A popular philosophy in our industry is you find a lead system that someone else is using successfully, get access to those exact same leads, and do what that successful person is doing with those leads, which is exactly what we do at our agency with our top producer appointments and leads platform. Basically where the clients not only fill out a lead form, but half of those folks will take the next step after seeing your photo, the agent's photo and information, and the prospect either will click on the call now button to immediately speak with the agent, or they'll set an appointment on that specific agent's calendar. And then, believe it or not, the automations start, and now they're replying to a text message to either verify or confirm the appointment. And what our top agents are doing is basically spending the amount of money necessary on the advertising so that they have the amount of appointments daily that they want, that they need for the level of success that they're attempting to get or expecting. So if you were one of our agents and said, Doug, what do I have to do so I can get 20 appointments, at least on average every single day? I would simply show you where your ads budget would need to be so that that would happen. And voila, now your days are slammed with appointments and fresh exclusive leads like crazy. I mean, think about it, guys. If you've got 20, 30 appointments along with maybe another 20 or so leads every single day, and you're making the dials, putting in 100% of your effort, even a new agent can cut through the learning curve in just a few weeks and potentially end up being one of the highest producing life insurance agents in the country, which is what we're seeing. It's all about doing the work / activity on yourself to be prepared, then having a lot of people to present to. Then I want to say about putting in the time and sacrifices into your business, making the dials and actually working hard. Yes, guys, hard work is the only thing that will push your success faster and smarter. For a copy of the policy summary and I Am Your Policy that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. If you'd like more information on working with us on our final expense top producer appointments remote sales platform, just email me at that same address. As always, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now, get up and out, and whatever you do, make sure that you do something good for someone else today. Happy hunting.